Sensitive Subjects with Sunny. Cheers to the little boy or little girl inside of you. Let's have some juice. This juice is extra delicious, and I know it's zero sugar added. But on today's episode of Sensitive Subjects with Sunny, I wanted to talk about being intentional as a mother or father or whatever kind of parent you are to your children. To me, it's extremely important because at one point I wasn't. And as you know, I'm a published author of The Habitual Giver, an ode to the women who came before me. And in the preparation or the process before writing that book, I recognized that I had a lot of patterns that were of habit, not because I made them of habit, but because I didn't pay enough attention to the system that I was born into, and I didn't ask questions. Well, I did ask questions, but it took a while for me to accept and acknowledge how I got to where I was, to begin to ask questions and get curious about the things that were sort of ingrained in me from childhood. So there were a lot of beliefs, habits, and just patterns that I carried into motherhood because I did not even know or recognize that they needed to be addressed. For example, jealousy. Jealousy was a big thing for me because I did not have the foundation of confidence. You know, my mother and father did not affirm in me, you are this kind of person, be a person of integrity. You know, you don't need outside validation. That wasn't gifted to me. Unfortunately, I had to learn these things the hard way. So I say all of that to say there were things that I simply did not have the awareness of to change them until I did. Once I became aware of them, it took some time to accept and really adjust to what patterns I had absorbed and projected onto my children. But now I am much more intentional about who I leave my kids with, what I allow my kids to consume, and that's food, TV, people. I'm just extremely intentional because of how hard it was to establish my own foundation.